Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the show. This is Wise Tiffany So Talented, and I will be your voiceover host for this video. This show is about the dress. It's always about the dress, and this is a new dress alert. So this is my new dress. This is number 2 of the 2023 year, and it is great. It is bright. It is fun. It is fringy. It is going to be amazing, and I can't wait for you guys to see me get through it. And don't forget, if you ever need virtual coaching or you missed a step from the video, feel free to send me an email and we can set that up. So, we're starting this episode back in the stone room because I got a new dress. You already know the rundown. So, here's my options. It's just a bunch of pinks, a bunch of yellows, and a bunch of oranges in my basket. I'm probably gonna come back a million times and get more. But we're starting the yellow dress. This is the inspiration here. So, Julia kinda did just a very light placement of lace, really just to show the customer the varieties of lace that we have. See, we have this darker yellow, the lighter yellow, some hyacinth orange, and we're gonna throw some pink in there. I'm gonna use a fuchsia color so it kind of coordinates just like this. You see the frame around the bust, and on the back is. Let's grab the fuchsia lace. So I did the liberty of pulling them out already. We have a few fuchsia options here. I really like this, but it's a perfect color match, but I think it's a little too busy, too big. The petals will be too big, even though like here, I got my girl sitting here on the cutting table. Let me spin her around. Okay, so there's really not a defined pattern for the lace placement. It just needs to sit in those areas. So I really kind of got some freedom on which choices I want to choose for the lace. But I'm leaning more toward these kind of pieces because she already has some on the dress. So might as well use the exact same lace, just in different colors. So here are my fuchsia options for lace. I like this because it's a darker fuchsia, so it'll give it a good shadow. I like this because it's really more of a color match fuchsia. It's reading darker than what it really is. It's really more of a kind of bright. Can you tell the difference than when it's on the table? I don't know. But it's really a bright fuchsia, and I think that will be a good kind of color match frame to what this is in the back. And then we'll just throw some in sporadic. So yeah, I think I'm going to use this one with the flower and the lace just because it's an accent. It's not the focal point on the lace. The orange is more of a focal point. So yeah, we'll do that. Now let's find some more orange lace. Julia was using a hyacinth lace. Of the lace for the hyacinth, this one is a little more of a rich orange, and this one is a brighter orange, but I'm gonna pull that in case I can't find it. Well, it kind of looks, no, that's it. Okay, perfect. And then I pulled some fringe. I really don't need a lot, so I'll just grab a little bit. I found just the tiniest bit of orange fringe, but if you look at the drawing, it's really just a tiny accent off of the hip, so I don't really need that much. Ooh, if I get to make some bangle earrings, that would be really cute. All right, I've gathered my materials. Now let's go place some lace. Voiceover time. So we use chrysanthemum clover for the fringe we have this specialty stretch fringe. Well, I like to call it specialty because we literally have enough in every color that you could ever think. This is what I ended up doing on the hip here. And I'm pulling those strips all the way around. I forgot to show you that I cut the strips, but I cut them here on my desk. See, look, the desk's already a mess. But I cut them here. And I'm trying to get this kind of flow of these lines like this, but have them kind of twist and turn within each other like that. And I think I did it successfully. It is exactly the way that I want it to be. So let you get into me placing these lace. After I placed the lace, what I did was go in the very next day and glue all of the lace down. Always remembering to use your pins. Pins are your friends when you're doing lace placement and gluing them down. You always want to make sure that you overuse your pins just to make sure that there's nothing that's going to lift and possibly fall off. We don't want any accidents on the floor. So after you finish gluing your lace, what I did here was place more of the strips because I wanted to bring an extra accent just up. It needed to swirl up. So I found the right size in the fabric that I used. I believe those are crepe or either stretch lycra pieces. And I just brung it right up under the back, and I think it came out gorgeous. Make sure when you use your rotary blade to cut your pieces, you cut the tips at a point, but leave a big enough point to where you can still use 16s if you don't have size 12s available. This is the tedious part, taking out all of the pins. And like I said earlier, I use a lot, so sometimes taking out the pins can take upwards to 5 minutes. But it's looking gorgeous. It's really looking pretty. I haven't even really put any stones down, but it's looking gorgeous. I got all of the pins all the way around the bodice, all the way around the torso. We're gonna be moving it around to the back. And I was thinking about using some of these fuchsia squares that I have among those many color, a sea of color of stones that I have sitting on my desk. But on those straps right there in the back, I'm thinking about using some fuchsia squares to tie in the fuchsia strips right here on the front. This really was the perfect color of fuchsia to add into this dress to make it pop just a little more. So let's get into the stones. Here, I started doing the orange, and then I went into the fuchsia, and I just think it's coming out amazingly. So I wanted to frame all of the strips and make that the very first thing that I do, just so I can figure out what kind of color palette and how the colors were going to react to this yellow and how bright they were going to stand out. So I did all of the strips in the front, across the shoulder, behind the lace. That's a pro tip right there. Still stone your strips that are running through your lace. So I got all of the vines done that go throughout the dress, and I'm gonna start on the yellow lace, but we're gonna work with this box here. We're gonna work with this patch of lace, and we're starting with yellow. So I want to do this flower, and I want to add some of these citrine pears. They're citrine shimmer, I believe, and I think they're gonna fit just right in between the petals of these flowers. And there's another one here. I think it's gonna be really pretty. I'll be back when the yellow is done. So I got all of the yellow lace done, and now I am moving on to the fuchsia color, which is this pinky purple. I got all of my lines already framed. I love the way it looks. Let me let you get into it. It's gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, so I finished all of the orange on the lace. That's gorgeous. All the way around, fully stoned. I don't quite know what I'm gonna do with the straps yet, but the lace is stoned. And now I'm gonna go into adding my yellow fringe. It's gonna go all the way up on the stomach here, because this is a plus size girl, so she wants to camouflage her tummy. And I plan to do just that. But it's gorgeous. Okay, so I just finished putting the fringe all the way up the torso, as high as it's going to go. I started with a bunch of 4s down here, then I moved up to the 2s, and then just single pieces. Threw a couple accents in. I do gotta add some more fringe to the bust because she gets fringe on that. But the fringe is done, so now what I'm doing is cutting the string to release the rest of the fringe. The straps, and what I'm using are these ruby fuchsia looking squares just to do the measure points. So I'm gonna do this one, I'm gonna skip this one, then I'm gonna do this one. So I'm also gonna do this one with the squares, and then the other ones I have these pink and orange astral pink baguettes that I'm gonna use to frame those, and it's gonna be gorgeous. And I topped it off with this citrine pear here on each one of the tips. Yeah, I can't wait for you to see it when it's done. Thank you so much for watching the creation of this beautiful Latin gown. Unfortunately for you, this Latin gown is already sold, but fortunate for you, you can always get a replica, something like it, or we can have a consultation and come up with some ideas of your own to make your ballroom gown or special occasion dress an amazing feat. And I'm glad that you feel comfortable with coming to me for that, because I can make your sparkly gown dreams come true. Just look at this one. I love it, I love it, I love it. Thank you again for watching. If you have any friends in the ballroom gown arena, please share this with them and have them possibly get a dress. And I'll give you a shout out for giving me the business and for being such a great subscriber. Isn't this fringe just, it's just so fun. This dress is the funnest dress I've made this year, literally. Thanks for watching.